Leads, listings, leverage. That's the name of the game. You want more leads so you can get more listings, and then you can afford more leverage to give you back your time so you can get more leads, more listings, more leverage. Every lead falls into one of 6 major categories. And remember, a jack of all trades is a master of none. So choose your lead categories and become a master of something. The 6 main lead categories are in-person leads, online leads, social media, prospecting, farming, and referrals. Everything pretty much falls into one of these categories. For example, in-person leads could be open houses or networking events. Online leads can be these huge companies like Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, or referral companies like OpCity, Ojo, Prime Street, or even these lenders like Rocket Mortgage, USAA, Veterans United. These companies are referring you leads, but they're online lead partners. Social media. A lot of people get leads from social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, things of that nature. Prospecting is going to cover stuff like cold calling, your for sale by owners, expireds, probate leads. And farming is essentially picking a geographic area and farming it for business with things like postcards and maybe even neighborhood events. So you can see some of these categories kind of merge with other categories. And then referrals, which everyone wants, have different sources as well. You can get referrals from other agents, you can get referrals from past clients, you can get referrals from other business partners. So your leads are going to fall in one of those source categories. Can you guess what my favorite real estate lead sources are? Let me know in the comments down below. Now you're going to want to work these leads for listings. A lot of times leads are buyer leads, and that's just fine because guess what? Buyers turn into sellers. When I was first starting as an agent, I was heavy on the buyer leads, but over time, I started getting more seller leads from those buyers turning around and selling their home or referring me to other people who were interested in selling their home. The more listings you have, the more leads you will get from those listings. So if you don't list, you don't last. Listings, in my opinion, are way easier than buyers because you only have to go to the property once to check it out, put your sign on the yard, and everything else can pretty much be leveraged out. You can hire photographers, you can hire transaction coordinators, you can hire people to do pretty much everything after you've secured the listing. And that leads us into the last L of the 3 L's, leverage. Leverage is going to give you your time back to allow you to go and get more leads. There's multiple ways to utilize leverage. You can leverage with technology and you can leverage with people. A couple examples of leveraging with technology are things like a CRM or a software app on your phone. These things allow you to spend less time so you're more efficient at completing your tasks. Now, don't think that technology is a complete necessity because I'm here to tell you that it's not. I had 10 contracts at one time before I even had a CRM. I had this all on paper. Now, granted, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I hardly knew what was going on, but I was busy. I literally had all my leads on paper, and I would just check them every time I called them, and every day I would just go down my list that was on paper and call people until I got an appointment. Now, obviously, I ended up looking at CRMs because my list got really big and there was no way I could follow up with all those people, especially not one at a time on paper. A CRM allowed me to leverage my time more efficiently. I was able to send out mass blast emails and text messages and send properties to all these people and keep them in order of who was important today versus who was a nurture to, touch every week or two. There's a lot of cool software apps out there that will help save you time so that you can spend more time prospecting for leads. The other major way to generate leverage is through people, by hiring other people. You don't have to hire a full-time assistant out the gate. You can get a lot of part-time help. You can hire a transaction coordinator to take care of the average of 20 hours that it takes from contract to close. They cost anywhere from $200 to $500. And if you think about that, is your time worth more than $20 an hour? And if the answer is yes, then you should be hiring a transaction coordinator and you can spend your time on more money producing activities. You can also hire virtual assistants from outside the country from a lot less than you could hire an American. Now, granted, you do eventually want to have an in-person personal assistant because they can do things that virtual assistants physically can't do. But when you're just experimenting with hiring leverage, you might look at some of these virtual assistant options. There are companies that will help find you virtual assistants, or you can go straight to the source using a company like Upwork, where you can interview the people directly and hire them directly without a middleman. Now, the plus side to using one of these companies is they're going to train them a little bit and screen them. Because if you're going direct to the source, you're going to have to do all the interviews yourself, screen them to find a good candidate. Follow along and join me on this journey as we learn how to make more money in less time. YouTube thinks you're going to like this video next. Let me know what you think of their algorithm.